Hi, my name is Ryan. Welcome to my channel, and in this video we're going to go over creating an actual chapter inside the story engine. If you remember from my last video, I just went through some of the pros and cons and where I had some successes with the story engine. So in this video I want to go through and actually show you how I make it. I'm sure everyone does this differently, or maybe they don't. I'm not sure. I haven't really seen a lot of videos, so I figured I'd make one. Plus it helps me to learn just by going through and creating these things. Let's see, just so you know where I'm at, on the last video I had shown you that I was using a story engine that only had one chapter inside of it, and this was the one we worked on. Only chapter 6, chapter 1's blank, and all that kind of stuff. What I did was I decided to just experiment and go ahead and just create some create chapters inside a story engine and just kind of keep it flowing. And I didn't have any problems with it. It seemed to work out fine. It didn't really pull too much from the other chapters because I put those guardrails and drivers in place, my double D, double G method. And I guess it worked for me. It may not work for you. I don't know. I'm not quite sure how this AI works. Like, do we have individual portals that customize itself to us and our experience? I mean, I could see how that would be possible. It's like, I could see how you would have not just one single entity of AI, but you could have various entities out there, or portals, or whatever you want to call them. So, where were we? Oh yeah, we're going to create a chapter. Let's see. I'm going to go down here and we're going to create chapter 22. Let me see how many words I have left. So I got 1,253 out of 1,700. I try to keep these chapters in here, not because it pulls information from the from the previous one. It's because it just kind of helps me keep track of what I'm going on, or what I'm doing here. I'm going to go through and delete this because this is chapter 17. And I think I can live without that. I went ahead and copied and pasted my chapter outline from my OneNote account to a Microsoft Word document, just so it's a little bit easier to read than my OneNote account, because I got stuff all over the place. So on this one, we're dealing with, 418 words. Okay, not too big, not too small. And let's go ahead and Control C, copy all that. And then we'll come back over here to our good old friend Sudowrite. And we're down here on 22. And we'll paste that in there. And I think should be good to go. I'm going to get rid of these empty spaces. I don't know if it makes a difference, but to me it does. And I'll go up here and generate my chapter. We're going to go to chapter 22 right there. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, create the chapter. Sorry. I'm getting ahead of myself here. Okay, so what I did was I just created chapter 22, and then there's my outline. So what I've been doing is I come up here to my beats, and I copy and paste the same outline right there to the beats. And then from here, I'm just going to kind of like number them off. And I like to go sentence by sentence because I think each sentence usually has a good amount of information. For example, in this one, they're walking through the ruins, they're trying to find them. I kind of like that to elaborate a little bit. So I'm going to make it its own beat. Then we'll show that they finally find the door to the secret temple. And I'm going to keep that a beat. And then we'll come down here to this one. This guy wants this girl to go through there. This next sentence seems to match up with that. Maybe not. In my head it does, but to the computer I'm thinking like a computer. And let's say not, because there's a tie in the mentality of the character trying to negotiate with this particular person. Whereas this one seems to be more focused on them using this like secret artifact key to open up the gates. So that seems like a definitive break right there, where they're dialogue, talking to each other. This one's kind of more of like solving the puzzle type thing. Let's see. This guy agrees. And then I would say that's a beat right there. It's pretty big, but it all seems to fit together with itself. Okay, it seems to all tie in there. And it seems to be just this one character named Alan talking with this one character named Dr. Alexei. So I'm going to keep that together, and he's leading them in the ruins. I know you're probably like, I don't want to hear your stupid story. That's cool. I don't blame you. Actually, I think it's a pretty good story. But, beauty's in the eye of the beholder. Let's see. Yeah, he's got another puzzle to solve. Blah, 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 blah. Makes more sense once I elaborate on this. And let's break that up again. Anytime I'm like shifting something with the characters, I've tried to make that a different beat. Let's see. There we go. That seems to be a logical break just because it's kind of shifting focus here. Yeah, there's another break right there. And let's see. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, that's a break right there. So I have to weave my head around here. I'm not used to working with a microphone right in front of my face and then having all these cables around. Maybe that'll change someday. Maybe I'll get a microphone that can hang down. We'll see what happens. I'm not in a hurry right now. Everything seems to be working fine. Yeah, that's a good one right there. And I'm not sure, I haven't seen a difference in the beats. Because when I say the difference in the beats, I'm talking sorry, I didn't complete my thought here. Is it better to have an even number of beats or an odd number of beats? Because right here in the Prose, it breaks them up and say 1 and 2 2 beat segments in the Prose. 1, 2, 3, 4, and all that kind of stuff. I've had even number, odd numbers, and I haven't noticed much of a difference. In this one, we're going to go with odd numbers. Now, my double driver, double guard method here. Let's get that pulled up. And right here, what I do is I try to keep a list of different guardrails and drivers and keep notes on all those things. So with that said, I'm going to use, I try to pick one that has like most common tones and everything else. Something that I would use on a regular basis because I don't want to sit here and keep reinventing the wheel the entire time. Because again, I'm hoping that this software can help save me time in the long run because I got a lot of story ideas, but I'm so busy, I don't have time to write them completely. Now I want to put my own personal touch and spin on them, but with that said, it takes a lot of time because I do other things than just sit here and work with Sudowrite and other things. Okay, so this one, the scene takes place in the ice cave in the ruins. Let's make sure it knows it's the official ruins of Petacatl. All right, if you don't know who that is, it's an ancient Mayan god. Let's double check that. Let's use our good friend Bing here. Who is Petacatl in Mayan culture? Whoa, misspelled that. You probably can't see that. Oh yeah, you won't be able to see it because I got my camera down here at the bottom right. Watch, it's probably gonna pull up some like nothing. You just made all this up. This is a completely fictitious name. I promise you it's not. Maybe I misspelled it. Oh, there it is. It's coming up. It's the god of healing from Aztec culture, not mine. Okay, that's where I got the name from. All right, so the Petacatl ruins, the guardrail. Use only Dr. Alexi. No, we don't want just him. We're using mucho characters in this one. So it's going to be these happy campers right here. They're going to be used the most. So we're going to pull them up and we're going to use, I'm just going to paste them in here. Oh, I got a great idea for the next video. We're not going to have time on this one because you're going to sit here and watch me copy and paste a bunch of stuff. Let's make sure it's grammatically correct because we don't want Sudowrite to having an aneurysm. Doggone it. There's a cable hitting my finger right here when I'm trying to type. It's really annoying. Have you ever tried typing at like a weird angle? I do all the time. It's unusual. All right. Let's see. Dun, dun, dun. Just so you know, these character names will change. I think we're good to go on that one. So we got the characters. These are the characters. Probably doesn't mean a lot to you. I'm excited about one character named Cylon78. And I'll show you something about that one that I put into one of the drivers. And it worked out really well. You probably think I'm really immature when you see it. So, but anyhow, the tone. They're going through the cavern. This guy's crazy. This guy has prisoners. We don't want to say intense horror. Let's more mysterious. Yeah, I'm thinking like, you know, some sort of Indiana Jones type thing or something like that where they're walking in some sort of mysterious place. And everybody's like, oh, okay. And then let's see right here. We're not going to go through the whole thing. You're going to be like, we're going to sit here for freaking another 20, 30 minutes watching you fill this out. No, you're not. I'm going to stop the video once we get this done. But I just wanted you to see this because it might help you out. It might not. You might be like, hey, I can do this on my own. Let's see. The driver. What we want to focus here on this driver. Let's make sure. Oh, where did my cursor go? I hate typing into a browser for the record. I like using Microsoft Word. It's a lot easier because just the way the whole software is organized. I always seem to lose track of where I'm at on here. It's probably just a me problem. Elaborate on the complex and vastness of the runes. All right, there we go. Dun, dun, dun. This one right here, I like. This one is good. Okay, this last driver where I talk about to display the violent madness and chaotic energy of this the enemy here, or the antagonist, or what you want to call him. All right, I've been using that one consistently anytime that character has been in the story, and it always gives that character a particular amount of edge because for some reason it's not pulling out that essence from the character description that's back way to the left. I could scroll all the way to the left if you want. Whoa, there we go. That was pretty fast. So the character description is down here. Okay, maybe I didn't describe it well enough, but by putting that driver right there, it seems to really help out with that character on making sure that he does something crazy. So that's me filling out the drivers. On this one, I got 2 guardrails. I've got 3 drivers. Yeah, 3 drivers. Sounds like I'm golfing, doesn't it? Where's my wedge? Okay, but yeah, so I think that's all I need to put on this one. I can't think of any other guardrails. You gotta be careful though, because the AI, it's going to do something that makes you think, and you might have to go back and redo it. For example, I might want to put a guardrail in here. It says don't foreshadow the events, but I don't see how it could foreshadow the events because it doesn't really know what's going on. It might try, but again, I think it's going to stop that when I choose the most accurate mode down here in the Prose. Let's see. So that's me filling out the guardrails and the drivers for that. And I'll go through and do the rest of that, and we'll see what happens. Some other things. Okay, one thing I did, I thought was pretty cool, is that if you ever saw a TV show Futurama, I had that robot in there named Bender. I have a character in this book, and I kind of wanted to be like Bender. Because when I was making this book idea, I kind of came up with on the fly once I saw about Sudowrite. I was like, I'm going to make this really cheesy Hollywood type of story. It's like, that's not my style. If you go read my other books that are out there, you'll see I'm not that kind of guy, okay, or kind of person. So I was like, well, let's make it like cheesy, and let's see if we can pull it together. And it might be fun. I want to make it kind of dark as we get it built out. But I wanted this robot named Cylon78. If you're a Battlestar Galactica fan, you might recognize that name. And then the date, which that was the year of the, I think the original Battlestar Galactica show. I was not born in 1978. You have to go back a little further. You were like, how do you look so young? The secret is strawberry ice cream. All right, but I'm just joking. The secret is stress and coffee and reading the news. But anyhow, we wanted Bender from Futurama. I was like, that's funny. We'll make him like Bender. And the character did turn out to be like that. I was suspicious that it would start making too many references, but it really didn't. I had to emphasize the smoking and alcoholism in the story, and I think it worked out pretty well. Now, will I get sued by whoever made Futurama, which is what Matt Groening or something? I hope not, but you never know. I don't see how they can because the AI wrote it, right? Let's see what else did happen here. Some things that cross over in themselves. We're going to wrap this up, but this happened on a regular basis. And you'll see this when yours generates your dialogue. Let's say down here, my notes. I actually didn't plan on making all these videos, so I had to go back and reread this stuff. It was interesting. For example, like right here, we got these guys. They're drinking and laughing and all that kind of stuff. And right here, it's like the AI doesn't get the sequence of events with humans. Apparently, it doesn't know how humans like to party. For example, they're partying and drinking, then they pass out and fall asleep. But then in the next line, they start talking to each other. And then they start partying even harder throughout the night. Okay? That's like, it just didn't make any sense. Those are like the little things that I would have to go through and fix. And that would not be enough for me to knock down a point on my Likert scale. Maybe I need to make my Likert scale on a scale of 1 to 10 for accuracy. There, maybe I would knock it down from, say, a 10 to a 9. Maybe. It's not really that bad, because I can go through and fix it and just delete a part of it. I don't see that as much of an issue. But it's just little things like that. Just little things you have to go through and fix. Okay, I'm going to wrap this video up. Next video, we're going to do some playing around with this thing and see if we can get my idea for randomly selecting jokes to work. And you're going to be totally amazed, and it's going to change your life, and you're going to be the most popular person in all your social settings if we can get this thing to work. All right, I'm out of here. Hope you have a great day. Keep working hard, keep trying your best, and don't ever quit.